why is baseball the only sport where the coach wears a full uniform? Well, the truth is, there's actually no rule that says they have to, but the reason it still happens reveals one of the most unique quirks in all of sports. See, back in the late 1800s, the word manager was used to refer to a baseball team's business manager, who was the person responsible for doing things like keeping the books and organizing travel. Instead, it was the team's captain who was tasked with doing things like setting the lineup and making pitching changes. Now, in an effort to save money back then, the captain was typically a player himself, so it made sense that he'd also be wearing a uniform. In fact, the idea of a player coach was actually relatively common in the early days of all professional sports, with legends like the Bears' George Halas and the Celtics' Bill Russell each winning multiple championships with their respective teams as both the star player and the head coach. But as sports got more specialized, the player coach slowly went extinct. Well, except for in baseball. See, according to MLB's official historian John Thorne, as the role of the business manager went extinct around 1900, the term started to be used to refer to the team's on-field decision maker. However, even though some MLB teams started following the national trend of hiring a specialized manager to handle these decisions, player managers remained popular in baseball well into the 1970s. In fact, Pete Rose served as the Reds player manager until 1986. And as recently as 2011, the Chicago White Sox considered hiring their first baseman, Paul Kornecko, to serve as the team's manager. But if there hasn't been a player manager in over 40 years, then why do managers today still wear a full uniform? Well, there's actually no rule that says they have to. In fact, the closest the rulebook gets to even referencing this topic is in Rule 4.07, where it states that players and base coaches need to be in full uniform, but doesn't directly reference the need for managers to rock the full jersey and pant combination. Instead, it seems like in true baseball fashion, managers today are just continuing a tradition that's been around for over 100 years. Never change baseball.